Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. It is Waffle Wednesday, and we have a flip watch. Oh my God. We're going to get to it. But our house guests of the day are Teresa Grafflin and Isaiah Burwell. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. If you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. Before we get into this craziness, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So Jack D65, Mary Ellen L, Jody Cortez, Angela H, Dawn MH302, David Cushmore, and Benjamin. Thank you all so much for your super chats. All right, we have some things to discuss here. When we left off yesterday, Mimi and Felicia remain up on the block because Cameron decided not to use the power veto. He was this close to using it on Felicia and putting up Corey, but Jag did not want it to happen, so Cameron backed down. But Felicia is Cameron's target, and Felicia has already been hitting the campaign trail hard. Honestly, you'd think that she was nominated next to Corey because she cannot stop talking crap about Corey in her campaigns. And she's like, I'm not going to campaign against Mimi. Clearly, she has chosen other targets. Unfortunately, those targets are not next to her on the block. But anyway, she is focusing her efforts on Matt, Jag, Bowie, and Cirie. She figures she's probably not going to get Corey and America's votes after her outburst at the POV ceremony. And Blue, she has no idea where Blue stands, right? They don't really have a relationship thus far. So Felicia, in her campaigning, is saying Corey is lying, stealing, cheating, listening in on people's conversations, spreading misinformation. And she's been saying that if she stays and wins HOH, she wants to target Corey, America, and Cameron. She's also pushing that she can be a shield for people. She's willing to step on toes and make moves that other people are not willing to make themselves. I truly believe she would make big moves if she stays, but the question is, will she win another HOH? You never know. So there has been a little talk here and there about potentially flipping the vote to take out Mimi, not necessarily because of Felicia's campaigning, but just because Mimi is a stronger competitor than Felicia. Plus, it's freaking people out that Mimi is getting closer to Blue. It's mostly freaking Corey out, right? Because Corey is terrified of Blue winning an HOH. So if Blue has another number who is also a good competitor, Corey doesn't like that. So the flip top didn't seem serious at the moment yesterday, but we also have quite a bit of time left before the eviction. We're going to get into all that. We were also waiting yesterday for Felicia to talk to America and Corey about the blow up that happened after the POV ceremony, which we haven't seen yet. But apparently America and Felicia got into it. And Felicia was all like, I want to talk to you guys tomorrow, meaning yesterday. So we're going to get into that as well. Sorry, it's been a long day. All right. So Jag and Corey have a little chat in the kitchen. And Corey says, you know what? Felicia has kind of like crossed the line for me with that POV speech. And he says, I don't think that it's helpful for us to have her in the house. Even, with her chaos, when her chaotic stuff is not directed towards us, it's still not worth it, right? He doesn't see the value in keeping Felicia over Mimi. And Corey says, at this point, I don't fear Mimi as a competitor enough to keep Felicia. Corey says if Mimi is to win an HOH, his plan is to push for Cameron to be the target, right? Because he doesn't need Cameron to go at this point. I don't think he does, but he doesn't think he does. He wants to protect the four: Matt, Jag, Corey, and America. Cameron is not a part of that. If it comes down to it, he would try to throw Cameron under the bus. Corey mentions he is terrified of Blue winning HOH. And let's face it, she's got a really good chance of winning a competition. She's come close quite a few times. But Corey is pushing again. He would like the 5 to meet together, which again is Corey, America, Jag, Matt, and then Blue is that number 5. And he keeps pushing that he wants this group to meet together because he wants to reinforce to Blue, like, look, we're good. We're working together. Don't put me up if you win HOH. Um, Corey says, as far as the jury is concerned, he's okay with Felicia not being on the jury because he feels like there's a pretty good chance she's not going to vote for him if he makes it to the end, right? She's made it known she does not like his gameplay. So he's like, I'm okay with her not being on the jury. Okay, so he also says, I want us to make a decision about this vote so that we don't have just like chaos for the next 2 days. Well, there's definitely going to be chaos. All right. So then Corey and Felicia have their chat in Have Not room. Oh boy, here we go. Felicia apologizes for her POV speech. And Corey's like, I really appreciate that. Felicia says, I'm sorry. I don't usually do personal attacks like that. And Corey says, it's fine. I did not take that speech personally. I respect you as a player. I get it. I get why you were making a move like that. But he says he's not really sure why she decided to single him out, right? So Felicia's like, well, I was really frustrated that you and America were never serious about the Final Four alliance with myself and Mimi. And she was irritated that they were apparently spreading it around to other people and telling them about it. So Corey's like, oh, I wasn't even sure if you and Mimi were serious about it. Because at one point he did approach Mimi and say, like, oh, Felicia was talking about a Final Four, blah, blah, blah. And Mimi hadn't even heard about it yet from Felicia. So Corey's like, oh, if Felicia hasn't even talked to Mimi about this yet, like, how serious is this? So there was some confusion with all that. But they hash things out. And they also laugh about Felicia's wild pitch before the POV ceremony to try and get America to convince Cameron to put Corey up on the block. Yes, she really did pitch to Corey's showmance to try and get Corey up on the block. That is a real thing that happened. And Corey's like, you know what? Honestly, it would have been badass if it actually happened, right? So, and he respects, again, Felicia trying so hard to stay in this game. All right, so, excuse me. Corey says, I understand why you haven't come to campaign to me this week. You've made my vote pretty easy for me. And they're laughing about this. They're having a good time with it. He's not like, I'm not voting for you. But Felicia says, I figured if I'm going to go out, I might as well go out with a bang, right? And Corey's like, honestly, it was a bucket list item for me to get called out in somebody's speech. I can take it. And again, he's saying, I respect you as a person and a player. And they agree they're still going to be pals after this. Okay. Corey says he doesn't want it to be awkward. And Felicia says it won't be. So feeds cut away for part of this conversation. But when they come back, we see Corey and Felicia hugging it out. And Felicia's again saying, like, I understand I'm not going to get your vote. And Corey says, expect the unexpected. Don't tease us. There might be something more to that. Okay, so anyway, Big Brother delivered some booze and party supplies to the house guests yesterday afternoon for Bowie's birthday celebration. Her birthday is actually today, Wednesday. Happy birthday to Bowie. And she's turning 46 or 35. She's saying it's 35, but it's actually 46. And it was funny because at one point, I think it was Felicia who was asking Bowie, like, how does it feel to be turning 35? And Suri said under her breath, again. Damn. But Big Brother only gave them 4 beers and 1 bottle of wine to celebrate. That's it. That for all those people. That's it. Okay. They also got a banana cake mix. Yum. Cream cheese frosting. And the tiny party hats are back. All right. So people were chilling in the kitchen, enjoying some drinks. America was straightening Cameron's hair again in the HOH room. They really seem to enjoy that time together. And at one point, Felicia is sitting alone in the comics bedroom, just talking to the cameras, and she's like, I can't do it. All this shit is so stupid to me. She says, I just can't do it, Mr. B. I want to fight. I want to be here, but I just don't have the fight over this foolishness. And she says, life is so much bigger than all of this. She says, the only 2 that I have left that I really want to talk to still are Matt and Jag, right? She wants Matt and Jag to know she is serious about working with them, about trying to protect them, being a shield for them. She says, Matt, Jag, Suri, and Mimi, that's my 4. Again, if she stays, Mimi won't be here. I just have to point that out. But anyway, she says, Corey and America, I love them as people. I do not trust them in the game. Bowie Jane, has never made an independent decision in here. Oof. I mean, it's true though. Anytime somebody asks Bowie Jane what she thinks about something, she never gives an answer. She's always just like, I don't know, what's everyone else saying? She never wants to like put her foot down and, speak her mind or like make a decision, which is disappointing as a viewer. But she also says Cameron does not resonate with me. Nothing he does is natural. He has to work really hard to fit in. And she says, I don't resonate with people who don't know how to just be themselves. She says, in the big scheme of things, it's probably time for me to go. We'll see. So after a while, Cirie joins her, and Cirie's like, I can't do it either. She can't be out there with everybody right now. She needs a break. And Cirie's like, I'm not sure if it's just because everybody's being all buddy-buddy now, and then in a few days, they're all going to be stabbing each other in the back. Or maybe it's because of like the 12-year-oldness of it all. This has been a very silly cast this season between like Jag, Corey, America, those three are goofy as hell together. And I think it's a bit much for some of the older house guests. But Felicia's like, yeah, they play like kids and they're all fake. Felicia is commenting on how Cameron loves getting attention, right? And she says that's why Cameron lets America do his hair. He just sucks that shit up. And Felicia says America running her fingers through Cameron's hair is just way too much for her. She can't deal with it. Felicia says it's just nauseating to me. I don't know how I made it 63 days with the foolishness in this house. That's a lot. And then later she tells Cirie, I told America that I was going to talk to her about what went down after the POV ceremony, but she says she just doesn't have it in her tonight to have that conversation. And Cirie's like, don't force it, right? It'll happen when it happens. It's all good. Okay. So Corey pulls Jag aside to chat in the scary bedroom. And Corey again is saying, I really want us to make a decision about this vote today. But he admits he is going back and forth about it. He doesn't know what to do. He says we could either, play it safe, vote out Felicia, nothing changes, or we could vote out Mimi. But Corey says it would have to be a blindside. So when he says a blindside, he means they're not going to tell, obviously, Mimi, but also Cirie or Blue. He does not want the two of them knowing about it. So Corey says, all right, hear me out. Ideally, we want the next two people to go home be Mimi and Blue, right? I mean, that's what Corey wants. Because Corey knows he is Blue's number one target. I'm pretty sure Jag and Matt are Mimi's targets, though. I guess Corey doesn't realize that. But Corey says, look, we got the chance to take Mimi out right here. She's up on the block. Honestly, I feel like this is the wrong move for Corey. Felicia is clearly anti-Corey. Mimi, I'm pretty sure, wants to target Matt and Jag. But again, Corey probably doesn't realize that. So he is thinking, let's take out Mimi while we have the shot. Because even if Felicia is after him, he feels like Felicia doesn't have a great chance at winning an HOH. So instead of worrying about Blue and Mimi, because Blue and Mimi are getting closer, he's like, all right, if I take out Mimi, Felicia's not going to win. I only have to worry really about Blue targeting me. So that's his reasoning there. But Jag is like, I don't know. If we blindside Blue with this vote and Blue wins HOH, of course she's already targeting you, right? Everybody knows that. But if we blindside her, she's going to be pissed. And there's a really good chance that me, Matt, or America will be up on the block next to you. Which, Jag feels like is not a great thing to happen. So Jag's like, I'm not feeling really strongly about what we should do either way. I could go either way here, but he does not want this to be a blindside, right? So Corey says, if we keep Felicia and we blindside Cirie and Blue for the vote, maybe if Felicia wins HOH, she'll put up Cirie and Blue, right? She'll be pissed at them for not voting to keep her, and she'll target them instead of me. So Jag's like, all right, if we are going to keep Felicia, I would prefer for it to not be a blindside. So Bowie comes in and she breaks up the conversation. That is something she is very good at. All right. So then a little later, Corey, Jag, and Matt are discussing the vote in the have-not room. And Corey says, to start things off here, like, I think we're most likely gonna probably just vote out Felicia, right? That's what's gonna end up happening. Why are we doing this? But he says, if we vote out Mimi, again, he wants it to be a blindside on Blue and Cerise. So Corey starts presenting his points. It's the same stuff he was telling Jag earlier, but he has to share this with Matt now. And Jag is saying, I don't want to piss off Blue with a blindside because if she wins HOH, we're not going to have any say in what she does, right? If we're good with Blue, we might be able to, point her in a direction other than you, Corey. So anyway, Cameron comes in and like basically right away, Corey's like, I want to go talk one-on-one with Matt. I'm going to get out here and talk one-on-one with Matt. So he pulls him out of the room. They go to the HOH room. This is super awkward to do that right as Cameron comes in. So after they leave, Jag is like, Corey makes things so weird. Yeah, that was a really bad move on Corey's part. And Cameron's like, what the F was that? And Jag says, Corey was talking about the vote. Oh, so Cameron knows about this now. And Corey goes, he's making his pitch to Matt. It's pretty much the same stuff that we've already heard him saying to Jag. Meanwhile, Cameron is chatting with Jag in Have Not room. And Cameron says, Corey is just looking out for his own best interests. And he says, I don't give an F what Corey wants. I don't care if Corey wants to keep Mimi. I want Felicia out of here. So Jag is like, yeah, when it comes to the vote, I only care about what you and Matt think, right? Because they're supposed to have their fugitives, Final Three alliance. So then Jag is like, honestly, I'm surprised that Corey is even entertaining the thought of keeping Felicia when she came for his ass during the POV ceremony. Why would you want to keep Felicia when she is so clearly targeting you? So Cameron says Corey is probably just looking at Felicia as a shield. He figures maybe she's not going to win HOH. And Jag is like, yeah, that is true. I mean, Felicia is less likely to win competitions than Mimi. So Corey would really only have to worry about Blue targeting him. So Cameron's like, honestly, Corey does have a point. But he says, I really don't want Felicia on the jury. Right? It all comes back to that for Cameron. So they agree. They see what Corey's really trying to do here. He's trying to cover his ass, right? Especially with trying to make this a blind side. He wants to get Felicia targeting someone else other than him. And Jag says, in no world do we evict Mimi and have it be a blind side. That's not to say they wouldn't evict Mimi, but he doesn't want it to be a blindside. And Jag says, honestly, the perfect scenario for us is if we have Blue and Mimi targeting Corey in America, and then Corey in America targeting Blue and Mimi. Because we just sit back, we let it happen, and we're good. So eventually Bowie joins them, and Cameron starts spilling Corey's plan. He says, Corey is trying to convince us to evict Mimi this week. Oh, Bowie getting let in on this information. That's rare. So Bowie's like, whoa, what? I talked to Corey just a little while ago, and he never mentioned anything about that to me. Oh. Jag says, not only does Corey want us to evict Mimi, but he wants it to be a blindside. And Bowie's like, why? What's the point? That's silly. So then they explain it to her why Corey wants it to be a blindside so that Felicia will target possibly Sari and Blue instead of him. And Bowie's like, oh shit, like that's a whole other level of strategy, right? Is Bowie even like paying attention half the time? I don't know. But anyway, she's like, holy crap, that's some gaming right there, right? And Cameron's like, yeah, Corey, he's got some ideas. So Cameron says, we are not going to do the dirty work for Corey. He says, I will admit, we considered it for like 0.7 seconds. Maybe we do get rid of Mimi. But Cameron's like, no, we're not doing that. I want Blue and Mimi both targeting Corey next week. Okay. So then Bowie's asking, like, why did Corey not tell me about this? Like, why did he feel like he couldn't tell me? And Jag says, I guess Corey doesn't fully trust you. Bowie does not feel good about this, right? She doesn't like that. She wants people to trust her. Yikes. All right. So then Felicia did end up having her chat with America last night. They were talking in the bathroom, and we did not get to see the beginning of this conversation. We joined it already in progress. And America saying, like, it wasn't a personal attack against you. Everything that I said was game. And Felicia agrees. She's like, I get that. But she does say, what you brought up during our argument had nothing to do with what I said at the power veto ceremony. So America says, Corey is my closest ally. And I felt like I had to come to his defense, with you saying what you said about him during your speech. And I did not want to escalate anything. I didn't want you to feel like I was attacking you because that's not what it was. So they both apologize to each other. They hug it out. This was not explosive at all. Remember when Felicia was telling Sari and Mimi what she was going to say during this conversation, like basically telling America, like, you don't talk to me like that. Why'd you come at me? Your man didn't stand up for you. There was none of that. It was very calm, civil, and that's that. All right. So later, Corey and America chat in the bathroom. And Corey says, I think Matt and Jag are open to potentially voting out Mimi this week. Are they though? Or are they just saying that to you? Because up to that point, it seemed like they weren't like super into it. But America says if we were going to do that, we would need to convince Cameron. They do not want Cameron against them at this time. So America's wondering, do you think Mimi would even put both of us up if she were to win HOH? And Corey's like, both of us? No, probably just one of us. And he feels like it's the same situation with Felicia. I don't know. I think Felicia might put both of them up on the block if she wins. But America's like, oh, well, if Mimi's not going to put both of us up together, what's the problem then? She says, if it's the same situation, I like Felicia less. So America would definitely prefer to see Felicia go. I mean, they had their argument after the POV ceremony. It got nasty. She probably feels like Felicia's not going to vote for her to win if she makes it to the final two. So Corey's like, yeah, but Mimi is way more likely to win HOH than Felicia. So that is more of a concern to us. Corey says he feels like he and America really get to choose who goes this week. Cocky much? I don't know about that. But he says if we go to Matt and Jag, feeling strongly one way or the other, it's going to happen because Matt and Jag are not as forceful about what they want to do. So Corey says, I'm really going back and forth on this decision. He says the pros and the cons seem to balance each other out. And America agrees with that. Corey says, what I want more than anything else to get out of this situation is for Blue to be mad at Matt and Jag. Because again, Corey is terrified of Blue winning HOH and targeting him. So he's trying to get the target on anybody else before him. And he says, also, I'd like to have the entire house be against Blue, right? That's part of why he wants her left out of this vote. And he says, that's why I'm pushing for this blind side, so that Blue will be mad at Matt and Jag. Duh. But don't think, Corey, don't think that Matt and Jag don't see this, because they definitely do. They know what he's up to. And America says, there's no way that this blind side would not get leaked, right? We got a lot of talkers up in here. Somebody is going to spill that to Sari and Blue. They're not going to be blindsided by this. And Corey's like, you know what, though? Even if it's not a blindside, Blue is still probably going to be pissed at Matt and Jag that they want to flip this vote, right? Because Blue is supposed to be so close to Mimi now. So America's like, I think we should wait until Thursday morning to push for this move. Like, let's not do it now. Let's not ruffle any feathers right now. We'll do it right at the end. We'll see. So then late last night, Cameron was talking to Jag and Matt and telling them again, like, Felicia must go. We can't have her on jury. We need her out of here. So he's really pushing that hard. And he's also saying, like, we can't do Corey's dirty work for him. He is trying to get you guys looking bad by flipping this vote, but don't fall for it. Cameron also revealed that before Jared left, he asked Cameron to look after Sari. And Jag realizes this is kind of weird, kind of odd that Jared would ask Cameron to look out for Sari and not Blue. Why don't you think about that a little bit more, Jag? Why don't you maybe go look at the memory wall for a bit? Why would he ask you to look out for Sari and not his showman's Blue? Yeah. Anyway, that was all last night. Today, it's Bowie's birthday. Happy birthday, Bowie. She had breakfast prepared by Sari. Very nice. But it's also Waffle Wednesday. There were no waffles on the menu this morning. But It's Waffle Wednesday. Felicia is still on the campaign trail. She's still working hard. Mimi, on the other hand, she is also out on the trail. She's quietly checking in with people. But honestly, like Mimi's campaigning, she's not offering much, right? She's not saying who she's targeting. She's not making deals really for the most part. She did talk to Suri about still working together moving forward. But it's like pretty boilerplate, I would say, as far as campaigning goes. Anyway, we have some stuff to talk about here. Jag and Matt were chatting in the bathroom this morning and they're talking about the vote. And Jag is like, I don't know what to do. Like, what do you think? What is the best move for us? And Matt says, I think the best move is probably to keep Felicia. Oh my God. He says Felicia would probably go after Corey, right? She's talking all this crap about Corey, but he's asking again, do we want Felicia in jury? This is what Cameron keeps pushing. And Jag is like, why wouldn't we want Felicia in jury, right? He thinks Felicia would probably vote for either of them to win. She would vote for Cameron to win, but Felicia does not want to see Corey, America, or Bowie at the end. She doesn't want them winning. So Jag says, this is good for us. And Felicia has said that she wants Jag, Matt, Suri, or Mimi to win. So yeah, I think she would give them the vote. And I think there is a possibility that she would even give Cameron a vote in the end, depending who he's next to. So Jag and Matt are like, all right, we would need to get Cameron on board with this move, though. We cannot do this without him. So they're trying to figure out, like, how do we convince Cameron to be cool with this? We could push that, Felicia is clearly anti-Corey in America. She's going to be targeting them. She's not going to want to vote for them to win. And Jag says, I think it's going to be better for us to keep Felicia because she's not going to come after us. Mimi, if she wins, who knows what she's going to do, right? And they don't realize Mimi probably would target the two of them. So it really is the better move for them, in my opinion, to keep Felicia. Jag says also he does not want this to be a blindside. He wants to try and get this unanimous if that's what they're doing. They're going to need to get Suri and Blue on board. And Matt is like, what do we say to them? Are they going to be cool with this? He anticipates Blue is probably going to push back against this a bit because everybody's suspecting that Blue and Mimi are working closely together. So Matt's like, I guess we could push the angle of like, why are we doing what Cameron wants? Why are we going to vote out Felicia? It's possible, right? People don't want to do what Cameron wants. Also, again, push that Felicia wants to target Corey in America. Blue and Suri definitely also want Corey to go, so it could work. But first, they realize we're going to have to talk to Cameron and see if he's on board. And Jag is saying, like, Corey, I think it's up to us to decide what's going to happen this week, right? We could make it go either way. And he says, the question is, how hard do we want to push this? Right? We don't want to suss people out by pushing too hard one way or another. That's going to make people think like, why are they doing this? Why are they pushing so hard for this to happen? And then Jag is like, F it. Let's try and get Felicia to stay. Oh boy. So Matt and Jag start trying to plant seeds with Cameron to make him want Mimi out. So Matt tells Cameron, I heard that Mimi promised Corey if she wins HOH, she is not going to put him up on the block. And Cameron's like, what? What's that all about? Why is she saying that? It's also confusing to him why Corey would want Mimi out if she is making this promise to him. But in the end, Cameron's like, I still want Felicia out. I don't want her on jury. So they're talking it over, blah, blah, blah. Cameron is saying, I think that we should screw Corey over by letting Suri and Blue, let them know that Corey is trying to flip the vote to blindside them, right? And to keep Felicia. And he's also like, we want Mimi to know this too, because we want Mimi to definitely be targeting Corey if she stays. Well, when she stays. That's what Cameron's saying. So let's get them all targeting Corey. Let's let them know that he wants to leave them out of this vote. And Jag's like, he doesn't think it's a good idea. Is he talking a lot of shit about Corey with Jag or with Cameron? Yes. But he is also trying to cover for Corey a bit, right? Because he is still working with Corey. So Jag's like, I don't think it's a good idea. Corey and America are going to find out that we spilled and we're going to lose them. We're not going to have them with us anymore. And then if they win HOH, they're going to target us. So Then, they're talking it over, blah, blah, blah. Corey comes in at one point. He's also arguing, like, maybe it could be good to get Mimi out of here. So then Corey's out. He leaves. And Jag, Cameron, and Bowie are all chatting about this decision. And Jag seems to get Cameron on board with keeping Felicia. He is really pushing, hey, Felicia is targeting Corey. She wants him out of here. And the angle that really drives it home for Cameron to get him to flip is let's pull one over on Corey, right? Corey is all gung-ho about keeping Felicia, even though she just made this huge spectacle saying, what a liar he is, cheater, blah, 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 like he needs to go. Why is he wanting Felicia to stay so badly? So Jag is like, let's go along with what Corey wants. Let's vote out Mimi, like he's saying. And then Corey won't even realize that he's making the wrong call here. And Cameron is giddy about this. Cameron is giddy over the idea of making Corey look dumb. And they're talking about how they can blame the flip all on Corey to Sari and Blue. Tell them, hey, Corey wanted you guys to be blindsided by this vote. Just try and get everyone targeting Corey going into next week. And Jag says, we're going to have all of our bases covered. This is going to be amazing. And suddenly Cameron seems really on board with taking out Mimi and keeping Felicia. Suddenly he's not worried about the jury situation anymore. It seems like this vote could actually be flipping to keep Felicia. We'll see if it actually sticks. There's a lot of moving pieces here, but the eviction is tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here with this one. I don't know. Do you guys think it's going to stick? It's really hard for me to say at this point. We've had multiple occasions this season where it seems like a flip is going to happen and then they just kill it at the night before or whatever.
Oh,
hi,
hi.
Bowie. Hello.
Hi.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I would also love for Felicia to stay because I think she is way more entertaining in this game. I think Mimi is a wonderful person. She seems so smart, so funny, so cool. But for me, she's not really adding that much to this game. So I would rather keep Felicia, who is chaotic, to husband. I would agree. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I want to thank today's super chatters because we really appreciate your support. So Wendy Will, oh hi, thank you so much as always. Richard L, first super chat. Thank you so much. Laura Dalton, thank you so much as always. We really appreciate it. Jack D65, thank you so much. And Jack says, happy 23rd birthday to Bowie Jane.
Yeah.
Right? She just keeps getting younger every year.
When I said that I was going to be 33 every year?
That was my mom's thing.
For like 10 years.
It was believable though.
Thank you.
It was very believable. And thank you again, Jack. Natalie K, thank you so much as always. And this is Natalie's first super chat. Thank you. Thank you guys. You're awesome. So that's where we're at. There's no episode tonight because the veto episodes are on Tuesdays now. But tomorrow we've got that eviction. Yeah, tonight, Survivor, Amazing Race. So it's a big night. Mm-hmm. Yes. So leave your thoughts on all this in the comments. We'll see what happens. Enjoy your Wednesday. And until tomorrow, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye.
Whoa, 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 EJ.